Welcome! We grew up in one way, so we are programmed to be one way. How can we learn? How can we deprogram in order to learn what decision is the best to choose? Sound unseals the yantra. I can start speaking in just like Sri Yantra cryptic everything.
Yeah. Should be just speaking like in very poetic, non-clear, like plain English sentence? No.
But then you wouldn't being like feeling it.
Exactly. No. How do you say that? You're not saying the clear English words. You're saying a poetic, English or British English or Bengali Spanish or something. The details are the one who can only catch it. It's not like you're trying to give too much on the plate.
You're
and
right.
Like language in very simple way cannot be. It's very porous. So you have to let the curiosity or whatever with the poetic and let the other part be built by the reader or by the listener rather than just taking it and like, I am not understanding, I need to understand more. And that's why even you make like those specific audience who love this kind of way of like, understanding and like letting themselves puzzle a bit. Okay, I'm just maybe complicating yours. But I like to do that.
Desires. It's such a vast topic that I have never questioned myself. And that's, main gene key of mine. So, first question. Who has desires? Oof. Okay. Who has desires? If everything comes from source, means everything is source, the only difference is the evolution of that consciousness back to the source. Because everything, it's a way back to it. So if a stone, for example, the consciousness of a stone right now, what desire can a stone have? Can a consciousness of a stone has desire? First of all, maybe that consciousness comes from source, okay? But that consciousness is still not developed in that way to source, to have desires. But in some time, in X space or time, which it doesn't exist on the eyes of God, that stone will or did have desires. Maybe that stone even right now has the desires that we, just human consciousness, cannot even like grasp any idea of it. So what desire can a stone have? Yeah. Depends from where we're looking at it. Everything is like that. Like, there's a point in my spirituality right now that nothing is real. Because it's just one tiny perspective of a huge masterpiece.
The absolute truth.
Yeah. Yeah. The truth. The only truth.
That we will never know.
Only once we become the end source. So we are looking for the truth. And that's our main desire. It's built in our system. Like that's the highest desire that we should be having. Looking for God, like becoming source. Okay, what to do with desires? What to do with desires? Doesn't matter. In the end, nothing matters. You engage with desires, they grow, like you get blinded by desires, and then that's one type of experience. That's one type of adding on into the universal truth. Another side, you're just ignoring desires or knowing how to behave in your best or most appropriate frequency. Wow, I was born in such a right and wrong family, and I'm just realizing that. This tiny expansion is the realization of who we are. Without this expansion, I wouldn't have realized that because I would keep myself there. So desire is necessary for expansion. How to transcend desires? Why would you need to? Do you need to transcend desires? Don't you think that if you are already living as a human, whatever you want should just happen? It's in our DNA to have desires. This is how we expand the experience. This is how we get closer to the truth. This is how we realize who we are. So desires is only just like one type of direction from this dot outwards. While transcendence, to transcend desires, is anything that goes the opposite direction, back to the source. Look. So for example, meditating, retreating yourself into a cave and not listening to those desires anymore. Because, oh my gosh, they keep coming and it's just growing.
How much attachment is needed with the desire in order to manifest it? Or it's not? Should you ever be attached to it?
That's a very amazing question. How much percentage of attachment you need to get to desire in order to manifest something?
Yeah, should you be attached?
50-50. It's literal the balance. It has to be yin-yang. Like they've been telling us in absolutely everything. The yin-yang, the polarities, the plus and minus, good and bad, light and night, day and night, I mean to say, light and dark. So it needs to be attachment 50% and then full surrender of 50%, full God surrender. And that's how you activate the energy of manifestation in the middle. The spark of creation. How to learn to have discernment of choices. Like the discernment of choices. Like which choice is the one you should be taking, or which choice is the easiest one in this point for you, like is the most gifted to you, like is the one that, you know, source wants you in a way, the other one as well, but this one is like you are meant to. So to be able to master a system, to run a system, you need to detach and become the observer, to learn the patterns, and then play by, you know how to play by the rules of that game. So meditation, Sri Yantra helps you to be aware of what is happening, the whole turmoil from a detached state. Observe, analyze, then you can play with the rules, and now you can create your own rules. There is a main system that is run in nature, in religion, philosophy, architecture, design, geometries, everything. Almost. And that system is the system of duality. Day and night, good, bad, love, anger, hate, whatever it is, the opposite of love. So the system is to make one. The left and the right, the feminine and the masculine, the plus and the minus, at the exact tension between them both, That's what creates a vortex, perfect vortex in the middle to create the spark and create another one. So 2 creates 1. Your duty now is to get aware of all these 2, 1 systems around you. Inhale, exhale, breath, life. This is like some thing that I used in the example of my book that I wrote. This is one example of the book that I wrote. Everything I'm saying right now, because talking to a video for me, it's much more, I get lost. Okay, and I'm being really honest with you, maybe a little bit too honest. Cut. There will be one moment, let's say, that you start seeing this system in many ways. It's a pattern. Whenever you encounter the system or any type of thing, you're gonna put yourself into like, okay, what is the balancing of that? What is the 50%? Where is it in this trinity? That thing. And then when you are able to localize it, you have a triple choice or double choice. Every decision you're taking in the now comes from a choice because you have free will. And you're responsible for that. Once you know each side really good, you are able to know what you want for yourself at that now. And you will be able to, feel it. Which of these 3 are the ones that is the one that I should be taking. That's the decision that puts me farther in this journey of Maya. In the end, nothing matters. Honestly, just do Sri Yantra Tratak and that's it. Nothing else matters. All this theory, all these words that I'm saying right now is just my tiny dot expanded from another tiny dot, which is nothing compared to the whole absolute truth. And the more how I think of so tiny I am, it's because I'm realizing how huge this universe is by the law of duality. It's interesting, right? It's really interesting. It's like a zigzag. It's a key for Tratak. It's the mudra! It's the eye mudra that I should face Sri Yantra's tunnel. I am well aware that at one moment, somebody who's a really pro of Sri Yantra will come in contact with me and will look at me like like I'm so low, like I know nothing. It's part of the process for both sides, and both sides should be aware of that. How did Sri Yantra come to my life? It's like I will have to start the story from the beginning, I finished high school, then I went to pursue my passion, which is like music. I tried for a couple of years, a little more than a couple of years. And then I understood something, and then I switched a little bit to spirituality. And then I came like music and spirituality obviously translated into sound healing. So I explored sound healing, and through sound healing, the first ever such a money-minded matrix course of sound healing I took, which was like expensive compared to the amount of zero knowledge they give. From that course came Sri Yantra as a picture. Literally, there was like one paragraph in that book text, and there was like Sri Yantra said, I have no idea but like so beautiful. The whole process of getting this Sri Yantra is like, even that course made sense in my journey. It gave me the Sri Yantra. Yeah. And that was the moment I connected, like within 1 week. I did a session, very long session, and it was out of this world. And that's when it was like a like huge encounter there. Wow. And the best part, the most mysterious part, which I think keeps me so curious about this, is that this is not in a human representation. Like this power, this force that I met through Sri Yantra, like in Sri Yantra is geometry. Like it's not from an avatar, a personification. It's a geometry that can be found in absolutely everything, because that geometry contains all the types of geometries. And from the 3D world, looking at those geometries may seem one thing. But when you start looking at those geometries from the other dimensions, it just keeps expanding exponentially. It's wow. It's wow. And it's such an expansion of my mind that I'm feeling from, let's say, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. No, 1 year. I mean, yeah, all the time. It's exponential growth. Vertigo was like in my veins. I was a dot in a whole black void, and it happened so quick that my mind, it was like still dealing with this like emptiness. And sometimes I feel a little tiny percentage of that in my body. It's like a remember gene. What else can I say? I think I'm talking a lot. Let me edit this video. I hope you had a nice cup of tea. Bye.